to Miles. Miles cuts to his right. Bailey takes him down.
Was that a knee? Could have been.
Hold on. Mitchell was still in there. Billingsley was still in there. Unfortunately, pitch to the running back is taken down hard, and it looks like a knee could possibly.
Take a peek at here.
They're all sides here.
Get up, Jules. Get up, Jules. For the record, this is the second time we're recording this because we just recorded an entire hour podcast on the Malcolm Go podcast, Season 1, Technical Difficulties. So this is Tony Loconte, Malcolm Go podcast, back again. Tyler Trainor, local comedian, back with me for another season, getting after it once again. Excited, but nervous and upset that we just fucking lost an hour recording and / Julian Edelman's knee exploded.
Yeah, if we're being honest, I'm actually a little happy that we didn't get recorded because last time Tony berated me for the first 15 minutes of the podcast for showing up late.
I was going to send his ass home like Belichick would have done.
He's going to give you the Adelius Thomas treatment.
That's what you deserve, really.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
All right, I got new drops. I'm excited. I got a couple of them I'm going to drop right now because in honor of Julian Edelman, I want to do a couple.
It's gonna be a hell of a story.
Oh, it's going to be a hell of a story. So, I mean, feels like weird to us because we're going to go over it completely again. A whole hour of work we just did, but we're going to just try and cut this thing down into 45 minutes. Preseason hype. I mean, you know.
The best is that I'm still going to do the same jokes that bombed last time. I'm just going to do them again. Like, maybe
I'm just not going to be fast enough to hit the bomb button on my goddamn
maybe I'll change
soundboard.
the delivery. It'll work this time.
Exactly. So, Julian Edelman, players like him and Dion with those quick cuts, I mean, these things are just, you're waiting for them to happen. I mean, devastating injury. You see in the first, I mean, basically his first real action of the season, their knees, I mean, they're just so quick and they just make such fast stutter steps that eventually these guys, their knees just always collapse. They always just snap. Him and Dion Lewis, you're just waiting for him. A guy like LaShawn McCoy, guys that make quick jump cuts, you're just waiting for that knee to stick in the turf and pop, and finally it gives way with Julian.
Yeah, it's weird. We were talking about this earlier, but it just, the fact that these guys are so big and they train so much and they're just
so big and so fast.
in perfect physical shape. Like, they put as much muscle on their body as they can. Their ligaments just, they can't handle it anymore.
Are you saying they have an extra muscle on their back?
Yeah,
I also did that joke in the first hour. It landed a lot harder. So anyway, he's really the one. He's a heart and soul player of the team. He's a locker room guy, a big depth, a big guy that's fucking big into the fucking locker room, telling the wide receivers what to go. He gets everybody emotional. He's fucking first one out of the tunnel. He's running all the way to the end zone. He's fucking
the type of guy who changes practice by just showing up and practicing.
Yeah, exactly. He plays 110% all the time. I mean, I don't know where they go from here. They're not going to be able to do it with one person. They're going to have to do it with multiple guys, running backs, wide receivers, Rex Burkhead, DJ Foster. Do they keep Austin Carr on the roster? I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're just going to have to develop a plan to take Edelman's unique way of playing and make it less of, basically make it up with three players. They're not going to be able to do it, which is one.
I think the biggest thing they're going to miss is third down. I mean, Edelman has been our third down guy for the past, 4 years?
5 years. He's the quick. He's the only guy that can uncover within 1 or 2 yards to get open and automatic on third down. The only one that Brady trusts consistently.
Yeah.
That he's going to throw it to him every single time. He trusts Amendola to an extent, but Amendola doesn't have the quickness, the ability to uncover like Edelman can,
or break the tackles. I mean, Edelman never goes down on the first hit. It's ridiculous. He's
just so strong and so quick. He ducks under tackles. He does all types of things that other players on this team can't do. It's just different from, say, Gronk going down, because Gronk is a big play maker. Basically, he's a
Yeah.
down the field threat, middle of the field threat. He's he's a big target, but he's down the field most of the time. He gets you third down conversions, but they're going to be like 15, 20 yards down the field on a big play. Edelman's a 3-yard crossing route. He's a 5-yard in or something like that. He moves the chains.
Yeah.
It's different from a guy that's making big plays. It's harder to replicate. There's going to be struggles early on. I'm guaranteeing in the first few weeks there's going to be struggles.
Thank God, like compared to years past, so that they're just so deep at receiver.
Yeah.
That it's like it sucks, but I mean it's not like we have fucking Rashay Codwell backing him up.
Yeah, there's nobody. I mean, there's a depth here. I mean, and they've basically had Amendola and Mitchell on a pitch count because of their injuries leading up to this season and prior. Amendola's been they try to keep him relatively clean and hit free until later in the season because he's such a clutch player that he really shows up in the playoffs. And Mitchell had a lot of injuries in college. He's a great player, but they're trying to just kind of roll their way into it with, kind of slow roll them in, as they would say, slow roast.
Could you see like Cooks and Hogan having 1,000-yard years?
It's tough to say. I mean, I could see one of them having 1,000 yards.
I
easy.
definitely think Cooks is going to have
Cooks is going to have it, but then you always got Gronk is always teetering on 1,000, and then you're
with the running backs getting a lot of catches.
Running backs, everybody's going to have a lot of
I
catches.
think Hogan
There's going to be a lot of 500-yard catches receivers on this team. I mean, Dion Lewis. Just think of the names right now off the top of your head that I can think of that are going to have it. Cooks, Gronk, Hogan, Mitchell. I mean, there's going to be like five. There's going to be like
White,
there's going to be like 7 or 8
Burkhead.
500-yard catches on this team.
Yeah, that's true. There's going to be a lot
because Brady's going to throw for 4,500 anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
easy.
So he's going to throw for 4,500, and it's going to be a ton.
Should
I mean,
throw for 5.
the running backs are going to have 150 receptions this season, just alone, just the running backs. So
White's going to probably have 60 himself.
I think he had like 70 last year, right? And then you got Dion Lewis, then you got Rex Burkhead. They're all going to have to get their touches. Rex Burkhead looks like a legit stud. Snagged him in my fantasy league. I know how people love to hear about fantasy on podcasts. Snagged him in my fantasy league. Snagged Cooks first round. Got bullshit because a kid from out of town, I play with a bunch of New Yorkers, jumped fucking 5 rounds earlier than anybody in their right mind would have took Chris Hogan. But it was like 20 minutes after Edelman blew his knee out. So I think everybody was just looking at the depth chart of the Patriots saying, who's next man up? Who's next man up? Because Brady's going to throw for 1,000,000 yards. And they fucking grabbed Hogan. I thought I could have got him in the last round. Bullshit about it.
God damn Yankee fuck.
No, I'm pissed off because Edelman's a fucking warrior. And an ACL injury is really a 2-year injury. So with a guy like that, I mean, maybe you can get an ACL injury for a quarterback's different, like for Brady. He'll come back the next year and be like, close to 100%, but you can't. You can't miss the drop off. You know what I mean? But when you get into wide receivers with jump cuts like that, like Dion Lewis, I mean, he had 1 year, and then this year he was really not 100%. Everyone was like, oh, when Dion Lewis came back, everyone was like, oh, they can't be beat. I mean, he's going to be fucking incredible again this year, and he really wasn't the same.
He didn't have that just that explosiveness, that
quick jump step that made him famous. Basically,
that play he made, I think it was against the Colts 2 years ago when he was like inside the 10-yard line and juked like 4 guys and had them collide into each other.
Yeah, he doesn't have that step,
No,
that quick burst. But I've seen it here in the preseason, and it's the same thing with Edelman. Is he's gonna come back next year and he'll be like 70%, and then he's not gonna be able to make those quick moves. He's gonna be more of an Amendola. He'll be able to make the moves, but I don't think he's gonna make quick cuts like he does, which breaks a lot of tackles, makes a lot of people miss. So he's really gonna come back 2 years from now, which is he's gonna be 33 years old.
Yeah, he'll probably come back by November of 2018.
Right, exactly. So he'll be 33 years old. Brady, God willing, will still be the quarterback of the Patriots. He'll be 42 years old. So I mean, it's a risky time because, I mean, think about it. When they got rid of Welker, he was 31.
Yeah.
So he took 1,000,000 hits. Edelman takes just as many hits over the middle of the field.
They do love to dump the guy that you think is going to be the guy for the next 4 years.
Invent a new one. Yeah. Exactly. Right before he fucking drops off a cliff.
Exactly.
So
if Clay Matthews was on the Patriots, he would have been gone 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they would have got a great value out of him.
So it's just it's interesting because it's lucky because Edelman got a 3-year contract extension this summer, which is basically ensuring that he's going to be a Patriot because they can't cut him now because it's a waste of money. So, I mean, you're going to keep him here. He's also a heart and soul guy. I mean, he's big in the community. He's big on the team. I mean, he's vocal everywhere. You hear him. I mean, he builds the team's confidence. He's Brady's best friend, basically, or at least Edelman tells you he's his best friend. Coaches love him. Team loves him. I mean, who doesn't love the underdog? And he's fucking exactly that. I mean, he's a warrior. He just needs to be involved heavily in the team for the team to have that same feel that it has as a championship team. He needs to be a voice in that locker room.
Yeah.
And I think he will be. But you're just not going to see him for the whole year, which is always the worst part.
Yeah, that's weird, too, because we lost him. We lost pretty much Ninkovich, who was like the captain of the defense. He kind of just retired out of nowhere. I mean, that's kind of two guys that were huge on the championship team that are gone.
A lot of guys. I mean, there was a lot of heart and soul warrior guys that were, really vocal and personality in that locker room. Chris Long, I mean, he wasn't a huge player, but they're also good, great locker room guys that people love and people have fun being around and that really work their asses off to try and be champions.
Bennett.
Yeah, Marty Bennett especially. I love Marty Bennett. I'm going to miss his ass a ton.
He really is.
He's going to be the shit in Green Bay this year. He looks shredded right now. I don't know.
At this point in the podcast, the last one we recorded, we made fun of Gronk's dad's 3-inch penis for about 20 minutes.
Well, we were just pissed off because, I mean, Gronkowski, because of Martellus Bennett, we were talking about how much we wanted to keep him on the goddamn team because he played through ridiculous, 10 knee-bending injuries that looked
ankles that were just folded over.
He came back with 40 pounds of tape on his ankle 3 plays later, and these things would have kept Gronk out for a century, because his dad would have been on the field, like a fucking little league dad whose son just got hit by a baseball against
not my Robbie.
He comes up, and exactly, standing over his son like he's a dead body, and he fucking just got hit in the hip with a curveball, fucking age 11. His fucking dumb Phillies are gonna go to the City Series. Yeah. So everybody hates that dad, and Gronk's dad is one of them, and he fucking hangs around too much, and I think he fucking affects Gronk's mentality, honestly. But recently, Gronk's been getting into I feel like he's been more mature, or he's maturing a little bit. He's going to Brady's nutritionist, Alex Guerrero, fucking teaching him how to stay healthy, eat right, not fucking be on Gronk ships constantly, the Gronk cruise. You know what's funny about the Gronk cruise is I still think about this all the time.
Tell me,
yeah, you didn't hear this before, so don't worry about it. The Gronk cruise. Half of it was not a Gronk cruise, which is my favorite part.
That really is perfect.
Is that fucking half of the Gronk cruise was just a regular fucking carnival cruise with fucking 1,000 South Florida Jews trying to go to Bermuda, and they're stuck on a ship with Rob Gronkowski and LMFAO dancing with co-eds where fucking Gronk and his brothers are tag teaming fucking 18-year-old girls. Well, at least I hope they're 18. Up against
they're 18.
Against their fucking porthole room.
Oh, shit.
Well,
it's weird. I wouldn't think I would find, if I was a girl, I would find the Gronkowski brothers attractive. Typical meathead, fucking idiots. Is that really
it's
what
gladiator mentality. It's fucking.
Really is, huh?
They're guys that are they're fucking little. They're like the peak. Well, at least Rob is peak male performance. He's a giant Viking looking man, tall, blonde, fucking shredded. He looks like he'd just kill you, and he's a party guy, so chicks love it. And plus he's a bazillionaire. Yeah, so that helps.
Potentially. We have the Malcolm Go has a strong belief, allegedly, that
his dad is
robbing every single cent he's
that he is made. That he is Dane Cook brothering him and taking all his money and pouring it into fucking Monster Energy and fucking Zubaz.
Yeah. Gronk's gonna be broke in 3 years.
At post football, he's gonna come looking for all his money, and it's gonna be down in fucking some San Pedro Island with his dad and fucking his 14 whores.
You're gonna be able in 5 years from now. You're gonna be able to hire Gronk at a Sweet 16 birthday party to show up in a male thong and just slap his dick off your 16-year-old daughter.
Gronk spike a keg.
Yeah, there's a bunch of idiots from fucking Medford. Dude, it's Gronk. I would let Gronk fuck my fucking 16.
You have to. Out of respect. Out of respect.
I'm Patriots first here. You know,
Listen, Susan, she doesn't care. She's fine with it.
She's a grown woman. Let her make
She
her
makes her own
decisions.
decisions. You got any more to Dell? All right. Take it easy, Vinny.
Shit.
So, one thing that's good about it's not good, but I mean it's a benefit of losing Edelman for the year is it allows, passes to be distributed a little bit more evenly. With Edelman in there, you kind of added to your wide receiver core by adding Cooks. He's going to need fucking 100 receptions or close to 100, and it kind of would have limited Mitchell's overall development. Now you're going to be able to bump up Mitchell and Amendola to the 4th and 5th receiver rather than 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to get Mitchell his catches and let him develop because he was really a stud last year, and he's a good player.
Great hands.
That deserves a chance to play. I mean, what did he catch? Like 5 balls in the Super Bowl. He fucking
all in like the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and
too.
he had a great fourth quarter and made clutch play after clutch play. You don't see that out of a rookie, and he's got to get out there and get his touches because, with Edelman, Cooks, and all these people, I think that,
Will you tell me the story about how he learned to read?
I don't think so.
I guess so. When he was in high school, trying to he knew he was going to get like a college scholarship. He couldn't read in high school.
Yeah.
So he started going down to his Barnes and Nobles to this book club with these old white women.
Yeah.
These 7-year-old, and he would read in their book club every week and just taught himself to read at age fucking 50.
It's fucking crazy the type of it's so different the educational systems in places.
Yeah, he was in West Georgia
or something.
Yeah.
But he there was a story on him the other day where he Nick Saban called him up as a sophomore or something, and offered him a scholarship to Alabama, and he just hung up the phone. I was like, thanks. Didn't know but he didn't know what a scholarship was.
Oh shit!
So he was just a fucking star athlete in football, but didn't know what a scholarship was. So he's just I didn't know what a scholarship was. I was like, what the fuck is going on down there?
Now he has that
backwards
program.
community.
He teaches kids to read in Dorchester. And
Yeah,
every week.
he's got his own exactly.
He is the man.
It's a classic fucking Patriots good guy.
He really is the best.
So so now you bump him up. He's gonna get his receptions. Amendola, Hogan's gonna get a ton. Hogan's gonna be a star this year.
Hogan really is the guy.
Hogan's gonna have 12 touchdowns this year, guaranteed.
Yeah,
a lot of deep balls. He's dominating players. He dominated Detroit.
He looks huge.
Against
he looks like he worked out with Edelman all summer and just got big,
shredded. Yeah, he doesn't have the lower body of Edelman, where he's thick through the base. He's kind of still thin.
Edelman has a much better ass.
Yeah,
I agree.
Have you seen that fucking body cover?
I'm picking up
body issue. For Christ's sakes. The man's Jewish, but not where it counts. So
he's a bad accountant. I don't get it.
I don't get what you're saying.
He's
so
poor with money.
There's just too many balls to go around. Talk about balls more. There's too many footballs to go around with Mitchell and Amendola now bumping up. You'd like to keep Amendola as get as little hits on him as possible until the end of the year. You want to really
need him for the playoffs.
You need him for the playoffs. He's such a clutch player in the playoffs, and Brady just feeds off of him, and their energy levels are just through the roof when they go through into the Super Bowl and fucking
contrast of when he came here too, because they're when he came here it was right after Welker left, and they're
they expected him to be a fucking 120 catch guy.
Yeah, they thought he was gonna be Edelman, if not better, and it's weird how but it's not really a bust of a.
I don't think it was a bust at all.
Turns out, obviously he's been great in both Super Bowls, but
he's come to his niche of 50 receptions a year, 3 touchdowns, but then the playoffs he's fucking lights it up. He has a touchdown a game or something.
It really
is
a
touchdown a game average in the playoffs.
Catches every ball on 4th down ever thrown.
Yeah, he dominated in the Super Bowl in overtime, 4th down. The Patriots, they always are able to move on to from their players from injury, whether it was Brady in 2008, Gronkowski for the last century, Ty Law in 2004.
Yeah.
They're starting rookies as fucking cornerbacks in the Super Bowl. They're just able to overcome. They adapt. They'll be able to move guys around. They're going to be more multiple, more diverse with wide receivers, with running backs. They're just going to have different packages for each guy. Malcolm Mitchell's going to come in and he's not going to run Edelman's routes. They're gonna make the offense work around the guys they do have. So there's still going to be less crossing routes underneath for where Edelman would be. There's going to be more deep
I think you'll
routes.
find Cooks more in the slot now.
Maybe you'll see Cooks more in the slot. I think they're not going to want to give him as many hits either.
No, but
It's going to be a lot of rookies and fucking like DJ Fosters and fucking running backs
James
over the
White,
middle. Somebody that's a little bit, built more to take hits over the middle.
Yeah.
Cooks is kind of a small guy. Send
yeah,
him
he
on
won't. Yeah, he definitely won't be running those type of seam routes that Edelman was.
Yeah, Edelman's a rare breed who likes to get hit. He's kind of sick in the head. He loves to.
know.
He loves to get fucking
fires
whacked,
him
and he
up.
loves to run and get fucking concussed. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I know.
By this time, fucking Wes Welker was wearing fucking Marvin the Martian helmets.
That was whole.
Don't
make any sense.
No, he still wants to play, but he can't fucking even see straight.
No. They the best part about their team though, I guess last year kind of went a little on how good the offensive line is. It's just fucking
Stacked.
It really is.
The whole team is stacked.
Marcus Cannon is a beast. He should have been a Pro Bowl last year. He got fucking ripped off.
Yeah, he wasn't a Pro Bowler last year. I thought he was.
I didn't think he made it. He
Probably
shut
didn't.
down fucking
J.J. Watt.
him, the idiot from
Von
Denver,
Miller.
Von Miller.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He just made a complete.
Turnaround.
180.
He was like a bad.
He was a
backup
bad
guard.
player.
Yeah,
he was
awful.
when he went in, you'd be like, "What happened? This guy stinks." It was almost like he sold his soul to the devil because the AFC Championship game against the Broncos, 2015. I don't even think he laid a hand on Von Miller, and he was lined up right across from him.
No shit.
Von Miller had like 37 sacks
Well,
that
that was
game.
the worst year ever when they would rotate the line like
Yeah.
each play. Like all of a sudden, Cannon would move to the other side. It's
Left
like
tackle.
high school when you
Yeah.
just put your big guys on one side and you run behind them. It doesn't work like that.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing then.
And
And then he came
Skarnecchia
back, and
came
last year
back.
when Skarnecchia came
Yeah.
back, it was like magic. He became
It's insane
good all of a
how
sudden.
good he is.
But he became like elite. He didn't become a serviceable lineman. He became one of the best linemen in the league.
Seriously.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Hopefully, fucking Solder can stay healthy. We really need him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Solder's last year, but he's he's a great left tackle. He's Brady's
He's just
blind
solid.
side.
He really
Yeah.
is just solid.
I mean, they got a couple
People
guys
make
they drafted to back him up
Yeah.
to like really take over for him in the future. So I think this is going to be Solder's last ride, and he could actually probably be. I bet you he could be the surprise cut. I mean, or a surprise trade late in the season.
Oh, like a Matt White or
like a Logan Mankins.
Logan
Yeah, he
Mankins.
could be a
Didn't they trade
surprise.
Matt White too, right? No?
No, he retired as a
Oh,
Patriot.
did he? Yeah, Logan Mankins. That one killed me. Logan Mankins was
was
my
a-
favorite offensive lineman
He was
ever.
shocking. That was on par shocking with Seymour.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not with Seymour, but on par with like Mike Vrabel being thrown
Vrabel,
in with the
yeah.
fucking Matt Castle trade. So I mean, I'm not gonna say. I mean, they'll be able to move on without Edelman. I mean, there's only one guy you could really not lose, and that's Tom Brady. Maybe Gronk, only because you don't have a Marty Bennett guy anymore.
Yeah.
But unless Brady or Belichick go down, if Belichick has heat stroke and fucking has the that Houston Texans coach, that Kubiak fucking disorder where he passes out on the sidelines, there's really no way that this team should not be competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, with Edelman, they were the favorites. They're still the favorite.
Overwhelming favorite, yeah. And
who's in the AFC? I mean, you have
the Steelers
Oakland.
got like Joe Hayden today, what made them
That doesn't-
marginally better.
Doesn't help.
They're not great. Their defense
No.
is it's their scheme.
Yeah.
Unless the Steelers decide to be a man coverage defense, Patriots are going to eat them alive
Every time.
till they exist. For the length
know.
of the Steelers existing.
Yeah.
They try so hard to be traditional
zone
with
blitz is just,
their traditional zone blitz. They've been trying to been doing it since fucking the
my boy
30s.
down in fucking Tennessee now. Who's that guy?
Yeah, with
The
Dick.
old decoy.
Yeah, I forget what his name is.
Vermeil?
Fuck him.
I don't know. I
He's
love
an old
him.
prick.
He's like 78 and he's still awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if he invented it, but they've been fucking doing it
No,
ever
but he
since.
was, yeah.
Yeah, so they've refused to change it. So Brady just kills them every single time. He knows the defense. He knows where the fucking blitz is coming every time. He just eats. Doesn't matter who it is. So I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, without Gronk can't go down. I mean, he could, but there's just no Marty Bennett to save you this
The
year.
defense
There's
is-
nobody that's going to be able to step in and really run Gronk's routes. But even then, Marty Bennett didn't run Gronk's routes. He ran different routes, and they catered the offense to Martellus Bennett being the tight end rather than Gronkowski being the
Which
tight
is
end.
what all the other awful teams in the NFL do. Your best guy goes down, you just expect fucking your backup receiver to run the same routes as fucking Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
not gonna
They fucking
happen.
exactly. They put Dominic Loconte in for Odell Beckham, and they think that fucking all of a sudden he's going to be making one-hand catches. Doesn't work.
We did a lot of coverage on the off season of just Frankie's wedding, what we really thought about it. We're not going to talk about it now, but that was for the last
Who
podcast.
kissed who? Yeah, you didn't know that. I had my second baby. She's
second
1
congratulations.
month old. Oh, thank you.
She's adorable.
I will take all my congratulations in money order. So, yeah. So the offense and defense looked fucking postseason ready against the Detroit Lions. They fucking were walking down the fucking field on them, stuffing them. The only thing that was really, concerning was just the Cooks hasn't broken out yet, but I think they're just hiding him, a la Randy Moss in his first preseason. Just hiding him behind the scenes until fucking week 1 against the Jets will have 1,000 yards.
Seriously,
fucking
I don't,
200 touchdowns in one game.
It doesn't make sense that he's not going to be. He's just too talented to.
No, he's going to be
up.
the focal point of the offense. Well, besides Gronkowski, Cooks and Gronkowski going to be 1-2 in this offense, and it's going to be. I mean, I think Cooks is going to be upwards of like 90 to 100 catches, 1,100, 1,200 yards, like big play. He's going to be like an Antonio Brown type for the Patriots. I want to say, knock on wood, but I want him to be just a fucking downfield threat, but also like a fucking crossing route threat. I want to see him everywhere. He's so fast.
With Edelman out, he really does have the ability to be a top 10 receiver.
He's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's going to be
He should
everywhere.
be. Brady's going to be fucking slinging.
Slinging that big dick of his. What? So, what else happened? Coney Ely got cut, but he was fucking useless in the defense. He couldn't play where he was told to play. He couldn't fucking keep the edge at all. He couldn't rush the passer at all.
That will get you cut 100% of the time if you don't keep contained.
If you can't keep contained on the Patriots, that's the only thing you have to do, and that's number one as a Patriots DN is keep contained. Everyone's been doing it. I mean, they don't care if you can rush the passer. That's like the last thing that they want you to do. Besides, keep contained, stop the run, and then rush the passer. Those are the three things you got to do.
Hence why Chandler Jones got the fucking boot.
Yeah. So, I mean, Coney Ely got cut. They have very, very limited depth now on defensive end. And for the last time, they didn't trade a second-round pick for Coney Ely. They traded a second-round pick for Coney Ely and a third-round pick, which was 8 spots behind. So they really jumped 8 spots. They fell 8 spots in the draft and got Coney Ely, who was fucking SEC Defensive Player of the Year next to the gay man on the defense. Him and the gay man. They were very good defenders for Mizzou.
Michael Sam.
Doing kissies on NFL draft with his Italian boyfriend. Which kind of hurt me a little. I'll be honest. As an Italian man myself, watching the little waif Italian guy kiss the big, strong black man kind of made me feel uneasy about myself, be honest.
Yeah, started questioning things. Like,
Yeah, I got a little...
That kind of looks fun.
No, I didn't think that. I thought, what would my grandfather say about this? So...
We're a little traditional here on the Malcolm Go podcast.
Just a little bit. Yeah, whatever. What are you going to do? Let the boys play.
I don't play. Let the boys play.
Patriots
What are you, homosexual, Taylor?
So, Patriots, they're definitely going back to 3-4 defense. They have to. They only have the personnel for it. They got no defensive end depth whatsoever. The defensive ends now are going to be more in the Ty Warren, Richard Seymour mold than a Chandler Jones. So, it's going to be Trey Flowers and Lawrence Guy.
20 sacks this year.
30 sacks this year. Easy. Trey Flowers. If you think of Trey Flowers in the Super Bowl, just multiply that times 16 games.
He was a rookie last year, right?
Second year. He sat out his whole rookie year. He was red-shirted, basically. They hit him on IR and developed him, and he's a star now.
He's a beast.
If anything, I don't want to get too into it because Coney Ely really burst onto the map with a fucking dominant Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. But Trey Flowers was solid all year, but he didn't...
No, he had a great year.
He had a great year, but he wasn't, like, ridiculous until the Super Bowl where he just dominated Atlanta's offensive line. What do you have, like 2.5 sacks that game? Fucking dominated. Made big play after big
He's
play.
the quarterback all the time. Matty Ice. But, I like him. I like Van Noy a lot, though. I think he's going to have a big year.
They're going to be rushing the quarterbacks. I mean, him and Hightower rushing the quarterback now because they're going to be staying on the outside. It's going to be the old 3-4 defense where Hightower and Van Noy are going to play the Vrabel and Colvin edge rusher basically, where it's not going to be the same as it has been the last 5 years.
Like hybrid outside linebacker.
Yeah, it's going to be like that because they got Harris to play inside linebacker now, right?
And he looks like a beast.
Where fucking Hightower had to do that for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Now Hightower can go to the outside, not worry about covering guys, and just get downfield and kill motherfuckers.
So,
You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be 10 plus sacks this
is
season.
fucking huge. It doesn't make how sense. Well, all right, we had a few Guinness here on the
Yeah, we've had a few beers. We're a few beers in.
Started to
This is our 3.5 of the Malcolm Go fucking podcast.
It doesn't make sense how
lost
fast
recordings.
and big he is, Hightower. It's just insane when you see him run full speed. It's like that hit on Matty Ice when he fucking strip sacked him. That had to
An
fucking
all-time play.
kill.
All-time NFL play.
It seriously is.
So he's gonna have over 10 sacks this year. I mean, the only thing that upsets me is that I love his A-gap blitz more than I love both my kids combined. It's my favorite thing on earth. Watching
Patriots
him
have
A-gap
always
blitz.
been good at that.
Yeah, but
Hightower's money. Collins was awesome.
Collins was the best at it,
Yeah.
but Hightower can do it really good.
Yeah.
Collins was
The other
definitely
thing too
the best.
is like, a running back, if he's not good enough blocker, comes in and picks it up. Hightower would run that guy over,
like
all the time.
Devontae Freeman
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl, for instance. So yeah, I mean, I think the defense is going to be all set. The only thing that they're lacking is defensive end depth, but that'll come in time. Let's play a game. Say 2017 team. Who's going to be cut? Who's going to stay? I'll go first. Adam Butler.
Luckily, we already ran through this.
So you know who he is now, right?
Yeah, he's on the team. Solid defensive.
Solid defensive end, undrafted out of Vanderbilt. He's going to make the team. He's a pass rushing interior lineman, so he's going to play defensive end in this scheme, right? He's 6'5", 270 or something.
So
big.
Just a little slender version of.
He's a little bit slenderer, more slender than like say Malcolm Brown.
He's like a Dominic Easley.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than Dominic Easley and not
Except
as quick.
still
But
in
he
the
has the
NFL.
same type of skill set where he rushes over the interior lineman and can get through. And he looks
All right.
really good, actually. Put some good stuff on tape, as the football guys say. Good stuff on tape.
I've never heard of this guy until Tony brought him up last hour.
All right, here's a good one. Jordan Richards,
He's gone.
Gonzo.
Yeah,
So he
that's easy.
won the Community Service Award, which good for him, for the Patriots. He won the Ron Burton Award, and that's where he belongs, working in the community. Send him home. I'm fucking
Ron
done with
Burgundy
you.
Award.
He stinks. All right, next one up. His counterpart in action, Cyrus Jones.
Yeah, well, we talked about him before, but
We talked about all this before, Tyler.
know.
Stop saying it.
But it's weird. Yeah, he's gonna stay. He
He
has
has-
to, just for his punt returns.
It's his second season. He's a second-round pick. Everyone was pumped to get him here. He did decent last week, punt returning. He's okay in the defense. There was an all-time
he's a good enough dime.
yeah, as the last corner off the
Yeah.
bench. He's not
When they have
he's
five
serviceable.
D-backs,
Right.
5 corners or whatever.
Yeah, so he's not bad. I mean, you got a legit starting secondary that's like 5 deep, and if Cyrus Jones coming off 6th, I mean, you're not too
Yeah,
worried about
you're
it.
in a good.
You're in pretty good hands. So there was a good time, a Jacksonville game. There was a fucking Patriots shithead bingo I had on Twitter where Jordan Richards and Cyrus Jones were lined up on the same side and gave up a 100-yard touchdown. And I looked, I was like, this can't be. I mean, this was like a fucking test by Matt Patricia to see which one was shittier because both of them just turned around and were like, I thought you had him. I thought you had. It was like a 100-yard touchdown. Cyrus Jones didn't even run with the wide receiver. I don't know if he thought he had safety help, but usually you have to run with the receiver a little bit to pretend you're a cornerback.
Shit.
And him and Jordan Richards just looked at each other like, what the fuck happened? Jordan Richards, all-time bust by Belichick. I'll tell you right now. That's an all-time bust.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take
Second
these
round pick.
Stanford idiots.
Yeah.
Sherman's the only good fucking defensive player.
Second round pick they took this guy. For they said he
know,
was.
they
I
really-
remember when they drafted him. Mel Kiper was like, "Well, you could have got him undrafted, but they say he's a coach on the field." And I was like, "Mel Kiper's an idiot. Look what they've done with all these other guys."
Yeah.
And that's finally one for the draft gurus that got right.
It is weird how
He fucking stinks.
how many times the Patriots. I feel like they miss on these. I don't know. I feel like they miss a lot on early picks, and they hit a lot on 4th round picks.
They tend to never miss. I mean, they're batting 85, 90% on first round.
Yeah.
And then they're batting really high in the second round. And then they're 80%, 80%. And then, the middle rounds they do pretty good. And then
The
late
middle
rounds,
they get studs all the time.
yeah, but then the 7th round guys you never really think of. 6th and 7th round guys you never think they're going to
There's
make the
1,000
team. They don't
that-
matter.
yeah.
And then they'll have Brady or Edelman and the fucking legit superstars in the league that come out of those fucking rounds. So
Yeah.
you never know. Next guy, Austin Carr.
Gone. Sayonara.
You think you can get him in the practice squad? I don't know. I'd love to keep him. I don't think there's room. Even with Julian down, I think they just keep an extra running back.
Slater's gonna be good to go, right?
Slater will be fine, but he's not going to catch any passes. He's just going to be a
But
fucking.
he's like technically.
I mean, if they IR him, maybe you keep Austin Carr. I don't know, but Austin Carr to me is a fucking guy, and he's just a guy that people like want to support because he kind of is. He's white and kind of stinks.
Scalabrini.
Yeah, it's like
Classic.
exactly like Scalabrini. So people just support him because he looks funny, like on the field, because he doesn't look like he matches a football player. I'll tell you a story where I really figured this out, and I'll never forget this guy's name. His name was Matt Gorman, Syracuse basketball. When I was a freshman, had just won the national championship. I was like, and every time he came out to fucking play basketball for the Syracuse University Orange. At the time, the Orange Men, they were like, a top team in the country, just won the national championship. He'd come out, I'd be like, this guy fucking stinks. Just like a fucking dumb fucking albino gorilla jumping around on the fucking basketball court. I'm like, this guy's fucking terrible. And everybody's cheering him on like he's got fucking Down syndrome. He's scoring a touchdown for the fucking Steelers. They're like, roll, they do that. They roll the guys down from the 50-yard line. That's what he looks like to me. And I'm like, so like there's people like that, and then people that love like fullbacks, like that's their favorite position. Like, I just love a fullback. I mean, I can't get, that's smash mouth football. Shut up. That's nothing to me. That's
it's like Green Bay liking Coon.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
The most racist.
They just like him because he's a white guy that fucking hammers people. They don't give a shit about anything. They're not even good. Like Austin Carr is decent. He's got good hands, but he's just a quick in and out one catch. He's not gonna make big plays down the field. He's not fucking
I have a couple
Edelman.
questions. One is
Matt Gorman, elite.
Syracuse.
Yes.
Syracuse changed their name from the Orange Men to the Orange
Yes,
as like a politically
as
correct
what I
move?
believe that's why. I don't remember.
It has to be.
Yeah, I think that the Orange Men was technically an Indian. Because there
Oh.
were Indian things like
But
around.
their mascot's just like a big round.
Yeah, there's always a big
orange.
fat orange. But I think
Yeah.
in like the 80s it was an Indian.
Oh,
and they got
really?
rid of that. And then they
Oh, that's right. I do remember something on the side of the helmet way back.
yeah, it was
just-
way. So they were originally the Saltine Warriors, which I don't know what the fuck that is. And then they changed to the Orange Men, which I think was an Indian thing because they had an orange Indian on some stuff.
Yeah.
And then they had a Dome Ranger, but we don't have to go down that road. And then they just have Otto, who's a big homo. And then yeah, I think it was. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but the orange stinks. I originally thought it was politically correct for like girls, but I think it might be more towards
It's
the
just the
Indian
Indian,
things. And that place is ridiculously politically correct, or they try to be.
Syracuse?
Yes.
I guess any college campus, really.
Yeah, any college campus, correct.
Um,
Next player. I don't want to get too much down Cuse, but I mean, we already did an hour before. We're already in minute 38 here. Fucking flying. Trying to push it out, but we're fucking.
I didn't get to my Gordon Hayward bit.
Oh, you did have a good Gordon Hayward bit. Wasn't it? That fell after Austin Carr, didn't it?
It was right around here.
You want to do it?
Oh, sure. Stop it. I guess
I don't want to. I know you're not a trained SEAL, but
basically, I was listening to the radio when
We
they
were talking about
signed
Matt Gorman.
the Celtics signed Gordon Hayward, and some guy called in and was like, Gordon Hayward, solid player, solid community guy, reminds me a lot of Bobby Cowens from back in the 70s, Celtics basketball player.
As in,
Yeah.
he's a fucking white guy
Yeah.
that fucking plays basketball
Cowens
for
was
the Celtics.
a power forward with no outside shot. Hayward's a two guard who only shoots outside. And they compare. He's a lot of same skill set.
South Boston guys and Charlestown guys just love seeing guys that look like them playing sports.
He's just
But
so racist.
They're not fucked up on fucking Jameson.
No shit.
They're fucking elite athletes, but they fucking Chicky from fucking South Boston will call in WEI every day and tell you how much fucking Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving suck, but fucking Gordon Hayward's the next coming to Larry Bird. Listen, he's a regular fucking guy like us. He'll go down there, he'll shoot threes, and then you know what? He'll go out, bang a few broads, have a couple beers with the boys. That's it.
Finally, we get a guy who likes to play defense.
Fucking fundamentals is the key to the Celtics. And you know who got it? Gordon fucking Hayward.
Give Jerebko a couple years. He's going to come around.
That fucking Kyrie Irving, he's fucking selfish. You know what, Joey? He's fucking selfish.
These fucking ball handlers, dude. You're going to pass and pick away. That's how you run an offense.
It's a fucking 2-3 defense. I fucking told you from the beginning.
Racist radio Boston College is my favorite.
I don't know they're racist though. It's my
They
favorite.
don't. They honestly think they're being genuine with their fucking
You don't
dumb
know.
opinions.
Listen, my grandfather always said, one of those guys gets on the court, you go home with your ball. All right. Take it easy. All right, next guy, DJ Foster.
He's making the team.
I think he makes the team.
Yeah.
I think he's. I mean, you're not going to get him to the practice squad. They carried him last year because they couldn't get him in the practice squad. He's a James White clone, but now with Edelman out, he can step into the slot and play there. He's a fucking quick guy. He's better than Austin Carr. He can catch. He can run out of the backfield. He's dynamic. I think he makes the team. And he's going to be able to take hits over the middle that Amendola and Mitchell don't have to take. So, next guy, I'm going to skip, Jacob Hollister, tight end in the Hernandez type, less murdery, so more like a Travis Kelce. I think they're going to cut him. I think they're going to only carry 2 tight ends this year, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dwayne Allen and
there's
Gronker.
There's always tight ends, I feel like, out there, too, when everyone gets cut.
They might keep that one Shaughnessy guy they traded for just for a special teams guy. But honestly, how many special teams guys can you have?
No shit. Pats are loaded.
They always do that. They have, they trade for a guy. Oh, he's good for special teams. Yeah. Well, they just traded for a guy from Cincinnati that's just a special teams guy. So, I mean, how many of those guys can you really carry on a team?
Yeah. I really feel like that's where the little things like that is where they accelerate. Like, we have the best punt coverage team.
Yeah, they're always good at that. They have Brandon King, Brandon Bolden. They got
I forgot about Brandon King.
Yeah, they got a lot of
he's
fucking
solid.
stars. Matthew Slater. All they do is play special teams. They have little contributions
Nate
anywhere
Ebner.
elsewhere. Yeah, Nate Ebner, just fucking rugby players, guys that just tackle on special teams and do nothing else.
Seriously.
They show up to practice and play special teams. That's it. So next guy, I've heard a lot of chatter about this guy getting cut over the last few days. Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, that is a weird one. I mean, they're keeping Garoppolo, obviously, this year for another year, so that's big money.
It's 50-50 if you're going to lose Jimmy next year. So you have to at least entertain keeping Jacoby Brissett. You can't just let him go because you're going to risk going into next season with only Tom Brady.
I can see them, because it usually takes till, week 3 when, half the teams lose their quarterback somehow. Yeah. One guy comes out, throws, 4 picks in the first round. So I can see them trading Jimmy midway through the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't really trade a backup. I mean, how can you trade a backup quarterback that's supposed to be the next fucking Aaron Rodgers?
But say
that's your backup.
Like the Cardinals, great defense, great team, everything. Carson Palmer goes down. You're like, well, I don't want to not have the chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Let's grab.
They'd have to pay up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of talk last year. He should have went over the offseason, I thought. They should have traded him.
They tried. I don't think they want to. Which makes me uneasy because you're talking Tom Brady, age 40 now. I'm assuming he's going to play this year as well as he played last year, and then you're going to have a time where Jimmy Garoppolo's coming up. They're going to give him a franchise tag, $22 million.
Yeah.
To back up Tom Brady, who's making $15 million. You know what I mean? So you're going to pay your backup $5 million more. They're probably going to franchise tag him and trade him. Because there's no way that, first of all, the Crafts or New England as a whole is going to sign off on trading Tom Brady. If he's fucking 70 years old, they're going to fucking want him to be the quarterback. Yeah. If he wants to play quarterback for the Patriots, he should play.
And I don't think he's going to want to go anywhere else at this stage. Go to another team that's sloppy. They run shit like the Patriots.
They don't have the same.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much your heart and will can take you without the guys around you in the system, you know? I mean
unless he went to Houston, where he knows
Houston,
everyone.
he could probably be elite, but now they got fucking, they just got a first round pick and fucking drafted what's his face from Clemson. So I mean, there's some places he could go, but I would die. I would literally die.
It doesn't. It's like Montana with the Chiefs jersey, but I don't see Brady with I
Could you
wouldn't even know what team.
They'd have to try no. Belichick would have to give him cut him, so he could pick where to go because
maybe
it wouldn't even
Philly.
be. No, so we'd never go there. He'd go to Houston. He'd probably go to Houston.
But I feel like
play there for 3 years.
I don't know. That'd be weird.
I don't know. Who knows? But I can't even handle the conversation.
Let's stop. This is too much.
I'm already getting I don't know. My belly hurts now.
I feel sad.
Yeah. So
I want my mom to hug.
it's weird now. So it's a weird thing in the NFL where they're doing one cut down now. So they're doing
This is new this year?
This is new this year, so they're only doing one cut, which sucks because now the problem is the Patriots are probably going to have to, they're going to cut everyone. So they'll probably be able to fill their practice squad fairly easily and get their guys that they want since 2,000 guys are going to be unemployed in a day, and you only have a day to fill your practice squad. But problem with that is they're going to have to pick up like a defensive end or a wide receiver from another team that they really like and carry him on the roster. So you don't really know if you're getting a shit bum anymore. Like you could have done it if they got cut in the first cuts, you could have kept him for 3 weeks.
Bring him in for a couple weeks.
For 2 weeks to play preseason. Now you're going to have to carry these assholes on the roster for a week and see if they can fucking perform on Thursday Night Football for the Super Bowl champs. You know what I mean?
It would be interesting though to see the Patriots are definitely going to make some weird moves with this new rule that other teams don't see coming. Yeah. And then they're going to give the Patriots, you can't take it. Yours was that take him or that. It's like when we drafted, when we stole that running back from Carolina a couple of years ago from Stanford, Gaffney. And they cut him even though he was hurt and they were just going to put him on IR. And the Patriots
picked him up on waivers and just kept him on IR. Yeah.
It's fine. And so there's going to be a couple
2 Super Bowl rings later, fucking Tyler Gaffney. And
seriously.
Way underrated girlfriend.
Never really turned. He's not on the team this year, right?
I know he's on the Jags.
Oh, is he?
But he's not. I mean, he never amounted to much. I mean, he had a good preseason last year, but he kept getting hurt.
Yeah, he went. He
had a couple tough injuries.
He's from Del Mar, California, where I fucking lived.
Bros for life. So let's get into this a little bit. Preseason Patriots, not a lot to talk about till next week, but we're gonna have a podcast in studio and then go live Thursday for opening night at the stadium. I'm not going to say live. I'm just going to say we're going to record it at the stadium. That'll be fun. So come and see us. We'll be in the lot by the handicap section because I usually make my brother look retarded, like a mannequin, like David, what's his name? Curb Your Enthusiasm when he puts a mannequin in his front seat.
Larry David.
So I do with my brother.
It's pretty easy. 5 Bud Lights. He does it to himself.
So
he passed out for the fight.
Of course
the fight this weekend. He ordered it. At his house, he had a big Friday Frankie and fell asleep 20 minutes before the fight
I forgot
started.
about that. You told me about it.
It was fantastic.
I went home. I was like, "There's no way Frankie's making it."
Didn't come close.
Yeah, of course not. So let's do a little chatter here. Top 3 plays of the Patriots dynasty. So that's 2001 till 2017. Your top 3 plays. I'll go first here, and I hate to do this to a guy like Bledsoe. And celebrate a hit that nearly killed him, literally killed him. But I feel like he doesn't mind. He used to hurl his O-linemen off stages and at Everclear concerts and hurt old women. So I'm gonna say Mo Lewis knocking Bledsoe out of the game against the Jets. I believe it was right after 9/11.
Yeah.
And catapulting Tom Brady to fucking the dynasty of Tom Brady.
Honestly, I didn't see that one coming.
The legacy.
But that is a great one. Mine are weird. Mine aren't exactly maybe the top plays, but my favorite plays that I remember most. Number 1, I get Vince Wilfork's 60-yard interception return down the sidelines.
I love that. Against San Diego Chargers. Would have went to the end zone if Devin McCourty didn't hit the guy in the back.
Yeah.
He would have went into the end zone and scored a touchdown there.
My favorite play that never counted was, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but the pick that McCourty made and ran it back to the house in San Diego in 2014.
Oh, when Browner fucking laid out Ladarius Green.
Yeah, and it never counted, but it was a clean hit. Shoulder.
Ooh, new drop alert.
No days off.
That's drunk, sloppy Belichick. I love it. Oh, wait, hold on.
Let's start showing some fight. Come on, now let's go.
TB12.
Gotta play harder. Gotta play tougher, everything. Everything we got.
I listen to that before I have sex. My next one, the snowball. No, not that play, fellas. No, not those mop tops. The Vinatieri kick in the snow. 47-yarder to take it to overtime. Proved to me finally, and to my father, that the Patriots were for real finally. They weren't going to fucking pack it in and go home for the winter like they always did. They actually had a team that could fucking compete and win. And it hasn't changed in 17 years. Same mindset.
I have another snow game. I get the Brewski pick.
Classic.
Sliding into the end zone.
Win the division against Miami.
That was awesome.
When they throw the snowballs in the air.
Yeah.
And and fucking they still try and do it, try and replicate it. Fucking every time it snows, it's got no heart. No, it's the same people that fucking root for Matt Gorman. It's the fucking same guys. They throw the fucking snow in the air, pretending like they're fucking part of the team.
Just forcing that old joke.
Exactly. Remember we used to do? No, it's not funny. Shut up. My third one, a classic, the Butler interception, cemented Brady's legacy. 4 Super Bowl wins. Launched the second part of the dynasty. Really, I wouldn't mind Brady going in. Poetic, really. Wins 3 Super Bowls to start his career. Wins 3 Super Bowls to end his career. I mean, how does it get better than that?
Seriously, it would have been the same exact kind of stretch. 1 and then skip a year and 2. Yeah. That would be nice. I have the Ty Law pick 6 in the Super Bowl.
Classic. In my honorable mentions.
Yeah,
I will say. So that's a great pick. I mean, that's classic. I mean, football. That's one of the best plays in sports. That fucking play. Vrabel and Willie McGinnis, the cover of Sports Illustrated, literally murdering Kurt Warner in the football field. Their helmets just crushing his head. Fucking elbows in their neck. Fucking claws in his jaw. And it's a completely legal hit. Warner set the tone. Warner had no idea where he was. Threw the ball. Ty Law takes it 60 yards, pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Patriots never look back. Unbelievable. I mean, Ty Law and Willie McGinnis killed him. I mean, it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Yeah. And, it was completely helmet to helmet. Nobody gave a shit. Didn't matter those days.
Driving him into the ground as hard as you could with all your weight.
Trying to paralyze him. Didn't care. And that was only 2001. Imagine in the 80s. They used to fucking stab each other. My honorable mentions. Ty Law pick 6, like we talked about. Vinatieri game-winning field goal in Super Bowl 36. Classic. I mean, probably one of the biggest moments of my life. Yeah. Edelman catch, Super Bowl 51. Yeah. Something that's fucking Welker couldn't do. So, that's where him and Welker part company. Edelman makes the catch, Welker drops it. The Hightower strip sack, Super Bowl 51.
That's up there, yeah.
I mean, game-changing play.
There's a couple Amendola 4th down catch on that last drive.
Oh, yeah.
Over the middle. That was fun.
He had there was a lot of big plays in that. There was a lot of plays that if they didn't happen, they would have lost the game. Like, if one play didn't go right. If anything, I mean, if Amendola, if Hogan, if somebody dropped a 3rd down or 4th down conversion, the game's over. They don't win. If Chris Long doesn't get held on a 3rd and long, it's fucking, it would have been over. Brady to Moss for the 50-yard touchdown. I mean, the 50th touchdown of the season 2007. The Edelman 3rd down conversion in Super Bowl 49, nobody talks about, and the 100% definite concussion he received on it, but didn't get taken out of the game. People still complain about that, too.
I know.
Edelman didn't get taken out of the game even though he had a concussion. All right, well, whatever. Fucking, he played football with a fucked up head. Yeah. He should be fucking rewarded.
I think you're hearing a little less, Patriots bitching after the Super Bowl than it was in the past, but it's still that everyone just hates the Patriots.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they are. Everyone just wants their team to win. So yeah. I mean, that's all that matters. They don't give a shit about anything else. They just want their team to be the best team, so they hate whoever's the champion and the winners. So it's always the Patriots, so they're always going to be trying to take them down, whether by accusations of cheating or whatever. All right, that's all we got. I mean, not bad. We did fucking 53 minutes. I thought we were going to push it up. So we cut 10 minutes off our time from before. Sucked that we didn't record the podcast prior.
It's mainly 10 minutes on Gronk's dad.
It really was 10 minutes on Gronk's dad that we fucking cut out. Well, it's good because next time we could probably get him on the podcast when we want him. Because he seems to be ready to be on the Malcolm Go Cup podcast. So anyway, Tyler, do you got anything to plug before I get into my shit? Are we on Laughable yet?
We're working on Laughable.
I submitted.
Yeah, Dom's on there. I don't know how Dom made it. But he's unlawful. But
knows a guy who knows a guy.
Just the Walnut Street Cafe in Lynn every 3rd Thursday. Hottest comedy show in town.
Yeah.
And then,
Righteous.
Yeah, look out.
Here's what people around here think your neighbors named their daughter Belichick.
I don't want to talk about it.
Play that by mistake.
And then we're keep your eyes out. We're trying to start something in the North End.
Ooh.
We know a family who has a restaurant.
A couple of paisans.
Make our way in.
A couple of guys. All right, well, email me, malcolmgopodcast@gmail. Interact with the show. Interact with the Twitter, malcolmgopod on Twitter, at fucking Brady Disciple. We're on Instagram. Don't use it a lot. At malcolmgopod. Interact. Send us fucking questions. Send us something for the show. Send us pictures, funny things. I don't give a shit. Call in. I'll have you on the show. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're accused or fucking definitely a rapist. You can come in the show. I don't care. We'll fucking, you got anything to talk about, you can come on the show.
Yeah,
so
we even let Vince on.
yeah, Vince. I mean, he's dead now, but it doesn't really matter.
I forgot about
I don't want to talk about that.
Injury.
Vince has been dead for almost 6 months, but
that was rough.
we buried him out west. All right. So, well, until then, go Pats, and we'll see you next week.
Do your job. All right, don't try to make too much out of it. Just do your job. 7-8 months ago, right? All from this moment. It's about honor. It's about respect. We win this game, you're honored. Your kids are honored. Your families are honored. We are three.
Stacked receivers, two to the right. Russell Wilson extends the hands he has. Wilson, quick throw. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Butler has it at the one. Malcolm Butler stepping.
Warner goes back to throw, and here's the blitz by Mike Vrabel. The pass is intercepted. It's caught by Tyler. 30, 25, 20, 15, touchdown. Tyler picks it up and takes it to the house. For Adam Vinatieri, 48-yard field goal attempt. Set to go, snap, ball down, kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. Adam Vinatieri booms a 48-yard field goal, and the game is over. And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions. The best team in the
Hey! Did it.
I love you, man.
Did it, bro. I love you. I love you. You're a asshole.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
Hey, I love you, man.